What's up, Swamp News? It's
What
the
up?
man. It's Johnny C, and it's Alligator Aaron, and we're coming at you live with a very special guest tonight. None other than the Vawl Daddy himself from Vawls Deep Podcast, and we're going 1-on-3, 3-on-1. We're about to put them down in the ground. The beat down before the beat down. Mr. Vawl Daddy is going to come on here in a minute, and we're about to show him who the boss is. It's actually going to be his very first trip to the swamp. Now, before I give him too hard of a time, I want to give him a lot of props. The dude's showing up. He is going 3-on-1, and he's a really cool dude. The dude's got 100,000 followers. He's got an incredible podcast. I doubt he's going to gain any followers from today's show unless it's a bunch of haters going to go over there, give him a bunch of algorithm love maybe. But what I will say is I give him a lot of love and props for just showing up and having this discussion with us. So, but anyways, we're going to get the show on the road. Johnny C, Alligator, get your questions ready. Get those fists pumping because he's about to get that beat down, like I said. But before that, you know what's coming up next. Welcome to the Swamp News Podcast, hosted by Swamp News and All for the Gators. It's the best hour in Gator sports. All right. Enough of that, right? Let's go ahead and bring them on. What you guys think?
Let's go.
All right, everybody, let me get a nice, warm, not a round of applause, but a bunch of boos for the Vawl Daddy. Let's bring him on. What's up, Vawl Daddy? Mr. Luke, what's going on, dude?
Hey, how you doing, man?
It is good to see you, sir. It's good to see you. Good to have you on the show. Welcome to the Swamp News Podcast. I know I speak for everybody here, Johnny C, Alligator Aaron, when I say we do appreciate having you on. And I know it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but obviously you're in the space. You're a podcaster yourself, but it is good to have you. And we're gonna inundate you with a bunch of Florida bias and propaganda and tell you how we think you're gonna lose. But I'll hand it over to you first, Johnny C. Let's get the show on the road, man. What you got for this dude?
Right on, man. Well, listen, I told you before we got on the show, man. I've been to the Florida-Tennessee matchup. I don't even know how many times. I've lost count. I've been going for over 20 years, every year, just about to that. I've been in Neyland way too many times, man. And so it's cool to have somebody like yourself come over here because I'm going to tell you something. If there's anything that I learned about Vols fans is they hate the Gators. I mean, my God. I was telling the guys in our last show, I was telling them I've been to a lot of different stadiums, a lot of different matchups with Florida. Only time that I almost came to literal physical altercation twice, it was at a Vols contest. And I mean, man, and it was after a Gator victory on both times. And they were provoking me on both occasions after the game. And so it was not pretty, man. And so I know the love for Peyton Manning, the hatred for Steve Spurrier. Like I said, I've been to Neyland Stadium way too many times. So I would love to hear what you think is going to happen tomorrow. I'm sure we're going to get that later on. But Joe said in the beginning, appreciate having you on, man. It's going to be a fun night. So looking forward to it. Go ahead, Jim.
Aaron, before I let you get your piece in real quick, I need to let the Vawl Daddy introduce himself. Although I gave him a little bit of an intro, I do need to let this dude say hello to the audience because I want him to get a bunch of hate real quick. I just want them to just dump it on him real quick. So Aaron, you're going to get him right afterwards. So hold all those awesome thoughts because Aaron, much like yourself, Vawl Daddy, hates Georgia Bulldogs. So y'all can have a little love fest about the hatred for Georgia Bulldogs, but he also hates the Tennessee Volunteers too. So, but let's, Vawl Daddy, tell us who you are, what do you do, where are you from, and what are you doing here?
I'm just the Vawl Daddy. I'm not going to give you my real name, but I started Vawls Deep Podcast probably, I don't know, 3 months ago or something, and it's already grew quite a bit. Yeah, make sure y'all just follow me. It's Vols with a W. You got to put a W in there. You got to say it with your chest. And yeah, get on there and give me some love. I do post quite a bit of Florida, but it's pretty spread out. But
Don't worry, we do too. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are watching from home, you'll see it's the way that you spell it is actually on the screen. He actually wrote it on there just a second ago. He must have forgotten. It's not surprising, but all right, Alligator Aaron, hit him.
Oh man. Well, first of all, it is good to have you on the show for sure. I love the mullet. Not gonna lie, it is a nice mullet. But luckily for you, I don't have any mustard or anything like that on hand, so you're all good. But anyway, so Joe, we asking some questions about the game in general, strengths, weaknesses, things like that.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. I was just going to let you just say hello, introduce yourself to him a little bit, especially because you guys didn't really get a chance to talk. But I'll go ahead and I'll steer us in the right direction here, right? So, all right, Vawl Daddy. I'll start. I wanted to start off a little bit with just kind of like parlaying us into the game last year. And I think that the 2022 Florida-Tennessee game actually goes under the radar as one of the better games that was played in college football all last year. And if you go back to the last 2 minutes of the Florida-Tennessee first half, Florida was actually winning that game. And I got to hand it to Hendon Hooker. That dude was one hell of a quarterback. Mm-hmm. He was 100% the reason why y'all won many games. And I'll get into Joe Milton in a second. I'm not saying that he is or isn't like Hendon Hooker. I have respect for Joe Milton to a degree. I don't know enough about him to say he is Hendon Hooker or he isn't. I don't think many people are like Hendon Hooker, but not many people are like Hendon Hooker. And that dude in the second half played lights out in a lot of different ways. But that last drive was 98 yard, 99 yard. I don't know what it was, but it set the tone and Florida just never recovered. Now there was 2 or 3 more plays that really changed the dynamic. One was that escape sack, and one was that fumble that Florida had in I guess it was the first drive of the fourth quarter. But Florida was in that game the entire game. That was not some blowout or some Florida was never including, obviously we had to get that onside kick to end the game to be in it in the very last second. But in typical Florida Tennessee style, Tennessee was clinching their, you know what? Oh man, is it really going to be like this again? Right. And I can't say that every person in that stadium wasn't like, there is no way that this is going to happen, because I was like, oh, it's happening. Oh, it's actually going to happen, because I had no reason to believe that it wasn't. Right. So I set the tone with that to say this: Florida has owned Tennessee. And all I hear, literally all I hear is that Florida has no chance. Florida has no chance. Florida has no chance. And the worst Florida team in a decade was last year's team. And Florida had a chance in that game. So my first question to you is this. Number one, yes, typical Tennessee, Florida, BS. I don't think Florida is the favorite in this game, even as a very, very biased Homer Florida fan. I think Florida's going to win this game, but I do think Tennessee has a better football team. I think the swamp makes the difference in this game. But I'm very surprised at the typical Tennessee fans that I do actually, I'll give respect to. I'll give them that they're not just going to say whatever bullshit just because they love Tennessee. But these guys think that Florida has no chance. I want to hear from you. Why do Tennessee fans think Florida has no chance in this game?
I think Tennessee fans have they said this since the Austin Peay game, because everybody's scared that I've talked to since the Austin Peay game. But if you would have asked me before the Austin Peay game, and you can even go back to my first episode or second episode, Florida's the game I was scared of, just because it's so early. It sets the tone for the rest of the year. And I hate Florida, and I'm gonna talk crap, whatever. But
good.
I've been humbled too many times, especially in the swamp.
Bruh, I don't want to hear that.
It's the truth. I mean, there's always a chance in the swamp. You could put Vanderbilt players in Florida uniforms, and they would play us.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I get it. I was hoping you were going to be way more of an asshole.
Yeah.
All right. Fair. Okay. So in other words, you're one of the people who are reasonable enough to say, look, it's in the swamp. This could go either way. I mean, it's not as cut and dry as the spread. All right. Okay. All right. Johnny C, I'll hand it over to you first. And what's your first question?
Oh, I would say during the time that y'all had basically for your rebuilding years, when y'all hired, because we're in that phase now. I mean, I've likened our program's condition to the same track that Tennessee went on, and so I'm just wondering, man, with you when HEUPEL was hired, at what point did you buy in? Having gone through Pruitt, having gone through all the coaches that you went through since Fulmer, what was your at what point did you buy in, and did you ever fully let go of Fulmer, in the sense that do you regret ever getting rid of him still to this day? Or is this something where you're like, no, we've moved on? Just like to hear from a volunteer fan and see where you're at with all that.
Honestly, to be fully honest, when we first hired HEUPEL, I was not a fan. But I would say probably, I would say probably the Ole Miss game in his first year was probably when I was like, okay, this guy can, he can.
Is that the mustard bottle game?
That's the mustard game, and we gave Alabama. Of course, you got to think whenever Pruitt left, there was like 40 players leave too. So we went to Alabama with like 42 players, and he gave Alabama all they wanted till about I don't know 10 minutes left in the game.
I was rooting for y'all in that game.
I was pretty on board then. The Fulmer, it still makes me mad what we did to. I mean, the year before that, he was in the SEC championship. But that's just what fan bases do whenever they get.
Oh, we've done that 3 times.
Whenever you get. And it's been a long. I was pretty bought in on Butch in 2016 when we beat you all. Then we beat Georgia, and then we still managed to. When we managed to still lose the East that year, I was like, okay, Butch is not the
dude. That's fair. That's fair. No, I think that's well said. I mean, I looked at the Tennessee fan base, and I thought Johnny C, that's a great question, by the way. I looked at the Tennessee fan base last year, and I could not believe that y'all hired Josh Heupel. I was like, man, how desperate do you have to be to go get the backup to Scott Frost? Like, I mean, come on, Tennessee. Like, how far have you fallen? And I don't know if y'all got lucky or if it's a combination of luck and just finding the right guy finally, but Josh Heupel is the guy. And I give the athletic department whatever credit you guys deserve in discovering him and putting him together, and the faith, because it's not just the fact that Heupel went in there, it's the disaster that he walked into and having to clean that up from not just one, but 3 coaches back to back that have just, well, Butch didn't necessarily leave y'all in a horrible, he recruited well, but
he did recruit well, yeah.
Pruitt was a disaster. But anyways, all right. How about you, Alligator Aaron?
So I do have a question. I mean, did they ever find the goalpost that you guys took off with?
I know one of them they cut up after they took it down the strip, and I don't think they found the one in the river. Now our intro,
someone's got it. Someone's fishing out.
Yeah, our intro video though, we made one out of PVC pipe, and we actually coming out of the river with the goalpost. So it's pretty funny. And I've actually had a bunch of messages like asking me, is that the real goalpost? People like trying to buy it. And,
that's tight.
And stuff that.
That's
all right.
Hilarious.
So you guys are coming to the swamp for the very first time. It's your first experience. I did find out my seats are not in section 36, or I'm in 38. So I'll be sitting two down from you. So as unfortunate as that is, I'll still be kind of near you. I'll be looking for you. I'll throw some mustard bottles at you. But good. Yeah.
Golf balls.
Yeah, I'll leave the golf balls at the house. I ain't trying to get thrown out, but they won't be mad at me throwing a couple mustard bottles at you.
I've heard pee, so just don't throw no pee on me. I have heard about pee in the swamp.
You ain't never heard about no pee in the swamp. I mean,
pee in the swamp.
Well, that was your own pee. That was a Tennessee fan's pee that they threw on themselves and were so drunk that they thought a Florida fan threw it on them. So I don't want to hear that BS. I mean, it's no worse than going to Neyland. I promise you. Look. Johnny C told a story. We'll get to that. We'll save that story. Hold on. We'll get there. All right.
We've got several.
Okay. And we're going to tell those stories because we're gonna have a great conversation. Then we're going to end it on the right note, so we can all hate each other at the right moment. Now, but in all seriousness, Vawl Daddy, when I think back on some of my favorite memories growing up, I'm 38 years old. Third Saturday in September. I mean, or third Saturday in college football. And sometimes, obviously, with August the way it can be, but it's always third Saturday in September. It's a holiday in my house. It's always been the most special, important day, especially growing up, as in my 30s, that was Spurrier versus Fulmer. And then even into the Zook Meyer era, I mean, it was still the volunteer fan base has always been a passionate and exciting fan base to love to hate. I was telling you on the phone when we first connected about this, that I don't share this relationship with any other fan base, not FSU and not Georgia. I don't interact with other Tennessee. I don't interact with other fan bases on a personal level the way that I do with the Tennessee fan base. I don't know how it got this way. I don't know why I feel comfortable actually going to a Tennessee fan and personally hating them in a personal relationship without actually physically getting into a fight where we can agree to not like physically hate each other, but on digitally and even like talking shit wise, like I can go to a Tennessee fan and relatively speaking, obviously there are lines obviously that I know people who have gotten to fights with Tennessee fans, but there is a special relationship between our two fan bases. I've never heard of the P thing, by the way. That's the first I'm hearing about it. That's obviously crossing a line.
I hear about it all the time.
I do not condone that.
I'm glad.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Aaron. Please tell me that there's no P.
Okay, I was going to say, no, there's no P. You might have to watch out for some flying shoes, but there's no P or anything.
Oh, hey, come on. Oh, too soon.
I was just curious.
So
I really have heard a lot of P stories.
These are just made up stories by your fan base.
Yeah.
We would never do that.
Reliable sources.
Reliable sources. Yeah, I would like to hear from those reliable
All
sources.
right. I hope you do not get peed on while you're at the swamp. But if you do, please let me know, and I will personally bring you back on. You could tell this story, and we could hunt these people down. I do not think that's a cool thing. All right.
Yeah, dude. If you get peed on in the swamp, it's going to be by somebody wearing orange and white overalls. That's all I'm saying, man. There ain't no way. There ain't no way.
I've never even heard of this.
It's all over. Like it's been there for years too. Like all the Tennessee forums and stuff. I swear.
No other fan base has ever brought this up.
Yeah,
a single time.
Never.
I mean, not as VawlDaddy. Listen. This is not corn dogs at LSU. This is literally the only fan base that I've never even heard of this rumor. This is not like jean shorts or something. I mean, Aaron's probably got jean shorts on right now.
I have jeans on, but not jorts. My jorts are upstairs. No,
all right.
I have heard jorts.
You got jean shorts on. I don't want to hear it, VawlDaddy. I know you wear them for fun too.
Bro. Oh, come on. You know you show off them legs to everybody.
I mean, you got a perm, bro.
Come on.
No, it ain't perm. It's natural curly.
That's what all the perm dudes say.
I ain't getting a perm. It lasts like 6 months. I ain't doing that.
All right. Okay. All right. So let's back this up. I had a point I was going to make about all this. So because there is a special relationship between this hatred that doesn't typically get too bad. What I was going to mention is that as Tennessee, and I think Florida's on the right path with Napier, whether you think that or not, people want to talk smack about Napier. The dude has played some really great games, and I think that our quarterback situation is going to really start showing, and we have a damn good defensive coordinator. I personally believe that you're going to see something show up on Saturday, VawlDaddy, that you guys aren't ready for. And this is my first question. My first football question to you is, do you think Joe Milton and that offensive line is going to be able to prepare for this super sack extra pressure that we have not shown yet? And I'm going to tell you right now, we have not shown the pressure, and we had not shown it intentionally because, number one, I don't think we were healthy enough. But number two, Austin Armstrong is going to eat this weekend. He's ready, and the swamp is going to feed the beast. You guys, y'all better be ready. Joe Milton ain't ready because he don't lose in the swamp.
He don't lose in the swamp. I'll take that.
How does he not lose in the swamp? He lost 2 years ago.
That's what he did. That's what he just said.
He said that.
Yeah, he said I don't lose in Florida.
Yeah, he said he don't lose in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I was just quoting him. I guess he said I don't lose in Florida.
He's the same guy that had the P story, I bet.
Y'all, sorry. Sorry, y'all were
Uh-oh.
froze for some reason. I didn't hear
Tennessee
what you
internet.
Oh, it's the
Brendan,
internet.
Brendan said it was your internet.
Yep, Tennessee internet.
Convenient time to get froze, by the way.
It's just Joe that's freezing.
It might be. I don't know. Let me pull my internet down a little bit.
You're good on my end. I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
freezing.
It might be because I'm host though, and he's coming on my
Yeah.
internet. So I'm gonna lower my resolution for him. All right. So so just for some context, Joe Milton said that he doesn't lose in the state of Florida. He did lose in the state of Florida 2 years ago to Emory Jones when the Gators were like 4-11. HEUPEL's first year.
That's another thing too. Is like it's been 20 years since we've lost down there. Like 7 out of the last
since you
15,
won.
we've had
Get it
better
right.
seasons. Yeah. But like 7 out of the last 15 years, we've had better seasons in Florida. It's some. I swear, there's some sort of voodoo, bad juju curse down there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Tennessee's been. I'm not like the top to sit here and be like, oh, they're holding stuff back or whatever. But it has been pretty vanilla. I mean, if you look at the deep ball, we've only threw 1 deep ball all year.
I don't disagree.
Virginia.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens. My biggest fear is introducing Nico down there. I don't want to do that. So I think establishing a run game is going to be huge for Tennessee.
All right. So I mean, I think Florida's got some offensive line issues that we'll see if they are real issues or if we fix those things. That's my biggest concern. I'm going to save that. I'll pass this over to the Johnny. I don't know if you want to get into football questions.
No, I mean, I would, I would chance to say that y'all are probably been holding back. I've been glancing over at what at your games as well. College football Saturdays, I usually just am constantly surfing like everybody all college football fans probably, but I usually go to the Vols game a lot, especially before we play them, and it seems like y'all have been a little more simple than I expected, which makes me think that it's intentional. I don't think that it's just because I wouldn't say simplicity is really what is how I'd categorize Josh Heupel. So I don't know if y'all have been holding back or if it really is just do you think that there's a lot of things you're hiding and that you're waiting to unleash? Do you get that feeling, or do you think it's more like, well, no, it's because Hooker's not there now?
Honestly, like right down the middle of that, and that's what like I've got to see during this game. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, and that's another thing is everybody's kind of freaking out about Joe, and like I even tweeted, I'm not even big on Twitter really, and I was just like, it's time to just sit back and appreciate what Hendon Hooker was, here, just because I think Joe he's good enough to win 9-10 games maybe, but like I think Hendon Hooker's underappreciated right now.
Hendon Hooker was a good quarterback, man.
He was great.
I rewatched the Tennessee game last year because I'm just so excited about Saturday, right? And I wanted to watch this rivalry so badly. I watched us lose to Tennessee last year already, and I just marveled at what he did to win that game for you guys. Like, he escaped pressure. He sees everything going on. I was like, dang, that guy was good, man. I mean, he was also like, 41? I mean, the dude was a grandpa. I mean, he might as well have been, retiring from the NFL. But I mean, it is what it is.
He wasn't a Stetson.
He was like 6 months younger than him.
He's younger than Stetson.
He's
literally by 6 months, I think. Look, I'm just jealous. I'm mad.
Oh well, when y'all recovered the onside kick, I sat down in my seat and I was just like, shit.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. And
good.
My brother was like, come on, get up, and I was, man, like I've seen this too many times. But
I almost fainted. I was so excited. I almost fainted. I was like, "It's happening!" And I literally like went lightheaded, and I just was like, "Oh my gosh, I got to sit down." So I sat down for other reasons.
If that
They
was
didn't let
Jones or Jeremy Pruitt or Dooley, though, they would have lost that game.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let us take it forward, though. Unfortunately, when we got it, they wouldn't let us continue forward with it. We had to stop right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a rule.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that they made that rule. I don't know when that rule came in though. Like, I mean, I know it has been a rule for a while, but I don't think it's a rule in NFL, is it? When did you stop being able to advance the onside kick?
Man, as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
That's a stupid rule. That's a stupid ass rule.
That is a stupid rule. You should be able to advance it. That's a stupid rule.
All right. Okay. Let's move on before I get mad. All right. So we're going into Saturday. I have my predictions. We're going to get some predictions of this, but I want to talk about offense on both ends. VawlDaddy, the defense for Tennessee has been decent. I mean, they did well against Virginia. Austin Peay, it's not like they scored a bunch of points against Tennessee, but it was the offense that didn't do very good for Tennessee, at least in the first half. Second half, they seemed to score. I don't know if defensively, I didn't watch the whole game, but the offense for Tennessee clearly, as you and Johnny C just talked about, didn't seem to be as on point as it has at least in last year.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest concern for me against Tennessee for Florida is the offensive line. If you had to say the biggest concern for Tennessee, what would it be?
It either had to be quarterback or just the drop passes. Like we dropped Joe was behind and high a little bit last week. I think there was I'd say there's probably 5 or 6 balls that he would really want back. But man, if he hits you in the hands, you got to catch it. And there's actually stories of Joe tearing the webbing off the gloves of the of the receivers. Like that's how hard he's throwing it. So I don't know if that's a problem. I mean,
that was a problem for us last year.
But going back to your offensive line, though, I don't know if you know this, but Tennessee is first in tackles for loss per game, first in sacks per game, first in sacks total, and second in total tackles for loss. So I think
let's look this up. Hold on, I'm going to look these stats up. I'm not saying. Go ahead.
Is that this year specifically?
That's these last 2 games, yeah.
Hey, okay, real quick, VawlDaddy, you're touching your mic to some extent, and it's I don't know what it is that you're hitting, but it's definitely loud. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop flicking your bean, VawlDaddy.
I mean,
yeah, I'm definitely reading the chat. By the way, yeah, you guys are cracking me up.
Everybody's asking about Austin Peay, and I mean, so did you guys have starters out the whole time? Did you bring in second string
on offense or defense?
Both.
Oh, defense week because Keenan Peely, he went down, our starting linebacker, and so we did play a lot of young, just a lot of linebackers in general on defense.
All right, hold on. I'm going to pull up the defensive stats. Okay, so I'm pulling up the top defenses. All right, this is total defense. Okay, first, second, and I didn't see that. Total defense. Who's number 3 in the country? Is that the Florida effing Gators? Holy shit! I didn't know that, guys. Did you guys know that?
Yeah,
I think it's because it's all that pee they were throwing on the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Austin Peay.
Austin Peay.
Austin Peay. That's where it all came from. Oh man. Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. Okay, y'all keep going. I'm gonna look for these other weird stats he was trying to talk about here. Go ahead.
So I mean, Johnny, you got something?
Yeah, I have some. Yeah, I could talk to you all night, man. You would want to, and I don't blame you. But the thing is, I would like to know from you, VawlDaddy, what's the worst interaction you've ever had with a Gators fan?
I really haven't. Honestly,
God, I was hoping you'd say somebody threw pee on you.
No.
I really was.
I haven't been to Ben Hill yet, so
Okay. Oh,
Well said. That was funny. That was funny.
Uh-huh.
That was good. I like it.
But no, other than just mostly social media type stuff.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, I can feel that. All right, so these are defensive. So this is sacks allowed. Hold on. Sacks allowed. Hold on. My bad. I thought I had it up.
what are some good things to do in Gainesville?
Not wear orange and white.
Yeah.
That's a big one. But
yeah.
no, it's personally when
Johnny's a preacher, so remember that.
Let's go to Spurrier's.
yeah,
Get a
Spurrier's
beer.
Gridiron Grill is a good place to go. There's a lot of good barbecue in Gainesville. If you like barbecue, man, you're in a good place.
What day are you going down there? By the way, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
We're leaving early Friday, like real early Friday morning, so we should get there around like I don't know 1 or 2 probably Friday.
Go downtown, go to the square, and just walk around. There's a good cowboy bar. I know that Johnny was going through some of that stuff. Go ahead, Johnny.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
I like going to the cigar bar and starting there and just working my way around the square, right? Like, I mean, just go where the lines are and then ask around, hey, where should I go next? Where should I go next? I mean, first off, you avoid all the stupid, like the immaturity of what you don't want to deal with. And you're around the more mature audience and the patrons. And then you'll be like welcomed and people will want to explore the people you want to explore Gainesville around. That's the area you want to be. Just go to the middle downtown. That's where you start. And I would start at the cigar bar.
Downtown.
I was curious.
Strip. There's a strip of bars, I believe, is downtown that kind of just runs across.
So I don't see any major statistics in this. I got to find a different page. I was on the NCAA football, but they don't have like really cool statistics here. So I'm going to go back to Yahoo, which is my favorite. I should have gone there anyway.
So what do you think is your strength of the Tennessee team right now? What is the biggest strength of your current team?
I really do think defense. I really do, and I think it's the front seven. I think that's our. Now I hope when we get Cooper Mays back, our starting center. He's been out the last 2 weeks. He kind of
ours as well, but
really?
we're getting him back. Yep, we're getting him back. He's been confirmed.
Okay. Yeah, Cooper's been like halfway. I don't know. They've not really just said yes or no, but they said I know he come out and he like warmed up and stuff against Austin P. But he helps the offense flow. I mean, he's really, really good. I don't know. He touches the ball every play, but yeah, I think the front seven on defense is going to be probably our strong point. Another thing that worries me is last year we was like 49% on third downs before Hendon got hurt. And then whenever Milton took over, now we're like 19% on third down.
Ooh.
So that's
low.
even against Austin P, I think we was like 3 for 12 on third down. So yeah, definitely a concern there, especially when you add the crowd noise and stuff like that in.
And all right, where do I go to check these stats, by the way? Where do you guys go to check these like tackle for loss stats and stuff? I can't find them on NCAA. Like, where do I go?
I'm pretty sure mine was on NCAA. I'm pretty sure.
I'll go back. Go ahead.
Bill Martin, Tennessee's like big stat guy that works there. He's the one that put it like on their official page.
I like it.
That was great.
Kenny Powers reference.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, they think you look like Kenny Powers and Tiger King mixed together. Pretty much.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to go back. I'm interested in these defensive stats. Look, I have no doubts. Y'all beat the smack out of Virginia. I mean, it wasn't like y'all started slow in both games. I mean, I'm not saying the game was ever in question against Virginia. I never felt like you guys were going to lose that game. I felt like Tennessee was winning, and it was a little bit slow. But I think that the defenses are both very, very good for both teams. I really do think that it's a very evenly matched defense, but I think Florida has a edge on defense. I don't think Florida's defense has been given the credit that it has deserved. I don't think you knew that they were the number 3 defense in the country. I mean, I don't think many people have been giving them credit because obviously last week they played McNeese State, which exaggerates it. Against Utah, the only reason why Utah got what they got was because the first play of the game, they went yickety yak yak, and then they got a fumble on the 7-yard line, and then they got a interception, or excuse me, they got an interception on the 7-yard line, and they got a punt shank on the freaking 30. I mean, it was awful. Otherwise, we stopped them. They went 3 for 13 on third downs. I mean, they didn't get nothing on us. We smoked them. Now, they had their third string quarterback, obviously, but that Utah's not a bad football team. They beat us. I mean, we hurt ourselves. Our offensive line looked good, not great against McNeese, but it's McNeese. Here's my prediction. We're going to get into this. Tennessee comes down to the Swamp. It's going to be loud, and Joe Milton is going to throw some interceptions, brother. And I don't think he's going to throw one. I think he's going to throw like 4. And I think Tennessee's going to get behind. I think it's going to be like 17-3 in the second half. I think it's going to be hard for Tennessee to play against Florida in this environment. Not because Tennessee hasn't played in loud environments, but I don't think Joe Milton is ready for this. I really think Joe Milton is going to overthrow some receivers, and I think he's going to get a little bit antsy, and he's going to be in his own head, man. And I don't think it's because Tennessee's not ready. I think Joe Milton's not ready. Honestly, that's just my opinion. So be his first real test as the starting quarterback. And I'm not saying they can't come back. I'm not saying that Florida's going to absolutely demolish them on every aspect of the game. I think the game comes down to, can Joe Milton complete passes? I think he throws 3 or 4 picks, and I know that's crazy to say. I just think the Swamp is going to be the loudest it's ever been. This is Napier's signature win. This is it. This is what he needs. He's got to have this win. Yeah. I really think it comes down to it. Now, I'm a homer, man. I really, really think that Florida is ready for this win. Like Tennessee was ready last year. That's where I think we are this year.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not saying he won't throw an interception, but he's not threw one in 207 attempts. I don't know. He just don't throw interceptions. I mean, he's high and stuff, but I'm not saying he can't do it. That's a little much, I think, for it.
I think he's gonna be in his own head, brother. I believe you.
If you pick 4 balls off, then yeah, y'all are gonna win.
That's why I think we win. That's why I said that. I don't think that it's because that Florida is far and away the better team. I think it comes down to how Joe Milton plays. And yeah, maybe I don't think he throws 4 interceptions. It's a little hyperbolic, but I do think that Joe Milton is not ready for this environment. Yeah, and it's going to be loud, man.
So have all y'all been to Neyland?
Not for a Florida game.
Yeah.
Okay. Not for a Florida game. I went for
what?
Tennessee, Auburn, and I went for Tennessee versus Middle Tennessee State. No, not Kent State. Kent State, sorry. Man, I don't even know if it was Kent State.
What years did you go, Johnny?
Oh, gosh. Man, 2000, 2002. Or wait a minute. Yeah, 2000.
Those are good years to go, man.
2004, 2006, 2008.
Golly, those are great years.
2012. 2014.
Sure it wasn't like
holy cow, John.
Yeah. I told you I've been a lot for this matchup. Yep.
I didn't know you went to every year.
Yeah, every other year, man. There and then obviously in the Swamp. But man, I've gone to Neyland more than any other than the Swamp. I've been to Neyland more than any other stadium.
That's impressive.
How does it compare, do you think?
In terms of crowd noise? It's, I mean, y'all obviously have almost 20,000 more than we do. And it's, I would say it's the same kind of noise. I mean, I've never taken a decibel reader, but I would chance to say it's probably, it's about the same because of the way that the stadiums are set up too. I mean, y'all compensate for that extra room. Whereas the stadiums are shaped a little bit differently. So
that's what I was trying to tell him on the phone.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, I definitely think that now in terms of, I don't know, man. Do you think? All right, because I know you're a Tennessee fan, But do you have a sense or an understanding? Do you not feel, or would you not agree with what I'm about to say, that Rocky Top is meant to be annoying to your opponents? I mean,
I would say as many times as they play it, it has to be, you know.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure that, because I understand that I have my own biases and stuff, but when I think about how often they play Rocky Top, I really do feel like it's passive aggression. It's not even passive. It's just aggressive. It's like, we're going to punish you with this song. And anytime I've been in Neyland, one thing I know is that they play it for anything. I mean, a duck flies over in the river and they play it. I'm like, my God, like, I can't take this song anymore. And I go home, and then on the way home, I'm like, I'll start to hum it or something. I scream, I'm like, God, it's cruel. It's like Gitmo in Neyland, it's like Cruel and Unusual Punishment. They're just like, you're going to hate yourself on the way home, like guaranteed to make you hum this song, So, but no, man, I would say in terms of the intensity, everybody has kind of their own thing. And one thing that I feel about in terms of their intimidation factor, and with Tennessee, I've always felt like it's it's just the overwhelming sense of the size of the stadium. I think it's an overwhelming, and y'all go out of your way to coordinate the checkered stadium, and it's intimidating in the sense of just the presence and your fans, bro. I don't know if I'm glad you're sitting down. I don't know if anybody's talked to you about this, but my God, I don't understand. I have never been pushed and prodded and yelled at and it just hooping and hollering too. I mean, like even the more moderate rednecks go full on during that game, during that competition, man. And since they let all of the Southernese out, I mean, it's like, I bet they get in their car and they're like, that was a fun contest, was it not? When they're around a Florida fan, when they're around a Gator fan in that stadium, dude, my God, you know what I've learned in all my years of this contest? I have learned that they will only ever call you Gator. Like, everybody's Gator. It's not, like there's no, like, for an example, if I see a different fan, I'm wanting to get their attention, which is very unusual. I don't do that, but I would be like, hey, hey, in Neyland, Gator, hey, Gator. Everybody's just Gator, right? And it sounds like the beginning of a NASCAR race. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, boogity, boogity, boogity. Like, it's overwhelming. And dude, I'm telling you, I will say this, because I've been in that, in that stadium for Gators wins and losses, and I don't know which is worse. For me personally, obviously, Gators loss is worse. But on my way out to the parking garage, every single time, if y'all win, I'm getting the pom-poms in the face the whole way out. Y'all are singing Rocky Top right in my ear. I'm getting all that kinds of stuff. But if y'all lose, oh my gosh. Like, normally, if Florida beats a team, you're on the way out, you'll hear fans talking to each other. So like when we beat Utah last year, this is a good example. I'm walking back out, I'm going back to my car, and I'm behind some Utah fan, and then there's some Utah fans behind me, and they're whispering to each other about a call they think that was missed. They're whispering, they're just keeping it. Y'all don't know how to whisper. Y'all, I have been hounded all the way to my car. Hey, y'all want us because that ref was blind, because y'all's coach been playing the whole way to my car.
They still complain about that catch that old boy. I mean, Gaffney? Like Gaffney, dude, that clearly a catch.
Clearly a catch, man.
It's one of my favorite catches ever.
Look at him, dude.
My dad gets so mad over that. Like,
I made a video that plays it on the loop for 1 hour, and I put it on YouTube today.
Really?
You talking about Frank's? That Frank's?
No. Talking about the Gaffney catch.
Oh, Gaffney catch. Oh yeah.
No, back to Johnny C's point. Hold on, but I don't want to lose out on Johnny C's point. But I want to add on to what he's saying. So, look, my wife went to LSU. All right, and LSU, I experienced an actual physical altercation where I literally was getting scared. Okay. I've never had to experience that kneeling because I've never been to a Florida Tennessee game. But in my experience, you won't have that experience at the Swamp. Like you'll be treated far better at the Swamp. Unfortunately, like you won't have pee thrown on you but of course, every fan base has their pieces of shit. You know, every fan base is going to have that experience, and the bad experiences exist everywhere on the planet, in every fan base, in every conference, especially in the SEC, where it just means more. Right, go SEC. But nevertheless, I hate that in one way or the next that there is, of course, these experiences. But in my opinion, the Tennessee fan base takes certain things way too far. Like, to the point where it's like, bro, you got to understand that the game is over, you lost, and you can talk shit. Leave me 2 feet of space, bro. Like 2 feet of space, and that's good. But y'all are ready at times. Now, on before or after the game, you know, give me an hour in between, everything's cool. But from what Johnny C said, I have heard stories. Now, I personally have never had that with Tennessee fans. I've actually typically had pretty pleasant experiences with Tennessee fans, but Johnny C has obviously experienced a little bit more because he's gone to 10 of them, you know, and we won, I guess, all of them except. And have you seen any losses, Johnny C?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have. One.
Yeah, because we don't lose Tennessee.
Yeah, no. It was one in Neyland, and then I was there, unfortunately, in 2003 in the Swamp when we lost to Tennessee
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Casey
and dude,
Clausen, man, he don't get enough credit for what he done.
And
I mean, when you only win one time in the Swamp, you got to give somebody a lot of credit.
Well,
he won both times in the Swamp.
That's fair. That's fair.
It was tough.
Yeah.
01 is you only won in 01 because
we had to move the game after September
9/11. I mean, not trying to talk shit about 9/11, but then we had to play Florida State, and Darnell freaking Dockett twisted Ernest Graham's knee. I will never forgive him for that, man. Darnell Dockett, you can go to hell, along with Tennessee. But we should never have lost to y'all that game. Had we played y'all on the 3rd September and had 9/11 not happened, y'all would have lost that game, and we would have gotten the national championship. Y'all cost us the national championship and Steve Spurrier. But then we got Meyer, won 2 national championships after that. That's all right. All right. Anyways, okay. So I was going to say this about LSU though. I'll tell you the ranks of the SEC stadiums. I've been to all of them. I have never heard Tennessee when Tennessee is good. So I'll give you the credit that I've never heard Tennessee when Tennessee was good, and I believe that it's probably loud as hell when you play Alabama and you beat Alabama. That's one of the most impressive sights I've ever seen on video is when y'all beat Alabama and all the checkers and like what Johnny C was just describing. That was pretty cool. Josh Pate described it perfectly. It was like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it's like Christmas for college football when that happened. Like, it removed myself from my hatred for Tennessee. That was a beautiful sight to see. I live in Alabama, so I hate Alabama, right? So that was pretty cool to watch. But LSU is by far and away, besides the Swamp, the loudest environment that it can exist. Now, y'all shut them up last year. That was pretty impressive. But LSU under the lights, it does not get louder. I have been to at least 11 or 12 games in that environment, including Alabama games when LSU Alabama was the premier, right? So I will say it's hard to beat that environment. I think the Swamp is a 1A or 1B at the peak, right? I think Tennessee is 1A or 1B at the peak. And I think that Texas A&M can be that if they get to a peak. But there's only a few different stadiums that can be that, but it requires being at the peak to be that, right? So Alabama, I don't think those fans can get to a peak anymore because they don't know what that means anymore. Auburn can also get to a peak, but they're not at that level where that stadium can get to that peak because they don't know what it's like to be that way anyways. So anyways, but I don't think that there is a top stadium, even though I compare Tennessee Neyland Stadium to like a dumpster with a bunch of raccoons in it. That's what I consider Neyland. You don't want to be there. It's hard to play in because that's a rabid place. It's not fun. You don't want to go there, and I'm scared to jump in.
Yeah,
that's the best compliment I'm going to give you.
I was pretty disappointed, honestly. I
know it
wasn't a night game, but they had empty seats everywhere. I don't know.
They didn't take y'all seriously.
I was expecting more. They should have.
No, they should have. Yeah, they should have. Had they known they were going to beat Alabama that year, they probably would have taken y'all more seriously. They were against Brian Kelly. Anyways, this ain't about freaking LSU. He hates LSU, so he hates LSU.
More than
All right.
anything.
You hate it more than Georgia?
I hate him more than Georgia.
He hates them more than everybody.
Yeah.
I
can't stand LSU, man. I can't either with Georgia, man. But LSU's fan base ruined it for me. I just can't stand them. I cannot stand them.
Band, bro. Oh my God, LSU's band is so disrespectful.
They're the worst.
There are West rival. Don't forget.
Yeah, I can't stand them, man. And well, yeah,
there are Alabama.
We were tied with them in the overall series until the 3 wins just got vacated.
Got them.
Yeah, so now we're up 3 again, which I've been very eager to let them know about. So
yeah, that's our Alabama, which obviously you understand after losing how many in a row to them until last
15.
year. Yeah. So I mean, you can appreciate. Look, I was rooting for y'all. I root for y'all every year for that. I root for the East when it comes to that, except for Georgia. So, anyways, all right. So let's wind this down, Vawl Daddy. Look, overall, we've kept it as clean and polite as possible. I kind of gave my initial prediction. I want to get to Johnny C's prediction for the game. I want to get to Alligator Aaron's prediction for the game. And then I want to hear Vawl Daddy's prediction for the game. And we're going to give you the final word because you came onto the show. We're going to give you the last laugh. And it's your show to wind off the final prediction and give us your final word. And then we'll let you off nice and peaceful. And then we'll talk shit behind your back once you're off. Anyways, no. Hey, as we wind this down though, man, I tip my hat to you, bro. Obviously, you know, we've kept it obviously with the chat. They've been really respectful. I try to warn everybody to not be too much of a D-bag, but it seems like everybody was pretty chill. Anyways, all right, Johnny C, prediction time.
All right. So, you know, I think it's going to be a dogfight, obviously. I mean, that's kind of goes without saying, but there's one way that I could see that not happening. And that's if there's any early momentum that really just dominates. All right. And so what I'm saying is if either quarterback gets rattled early, throws a pick early, there's a pick 6 or something like that. And well, yeah, that's what I'm pulling for. But Tennessee's defense is the thing that I'm worried about. So if either quarterback gets rattled early and throws pick 6 or something like that, this could be one of those rare games where it's not as close as it typically is. That being said, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be a classic clash between the two. I think that Napier understands that he has to have this win. And so being as objective as I can, understanding my own biases and confirmation bias I'm going to look for. But I do believe that he understands that this game is a must-have because it really is. Our fan base is unbelievably impatient, and I've been reading it all week long. He better win this. He better win this. He knows. And so I think that the players really love him, and I think that they've bought in, and that's indicative in the recruiting class we have coming in. A lot of people are buying into him. So I think that they're going to play extremely hard, and I think that they're going to give it all they've got. Now you can say, well, yeah, they're always going to. No, they didn't last year. I'm going to tell you that. You know, our team fell apart last year. And so I think that they're going to give them all they got. They're going to bring their A game. And I think for Tennessee to win, they're going to have to play their best game. I think it's going to be one of those kind of environments. So all that being said, I've got Florida winning. I'm going to say it's probably going to be something like, 30, let's go 34 to 31. I think maybe in that range, a couple field goals would be the difference, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because I think the energy is just going to move the ball. I think there's going to be a lot of big plays, a lot of busted coverage early, and yeah, I think it's going to be a really fun one, man.
All right, I like it. All right, Alligator Aaron.
All right, so obviously this game is in the swamp, and in the swamp we just come alive, especially at night. It's just the way that it is. It's Tennessee. I think it might be fairly close. I don't think that Milton does as well as he wants to on offense. I think he's met with our strong defense. Our offense, not exactly is going to be the best, but it's still going to get rolling to the point where It's going to get to where I don't think you guys are going to quite be able to catch up at the end. I think it's going to be fairly close, but I'm just going to throw in a prediction of 27-23. That's my prediction. With a win with the Gators in the swamp. It's the swamp, man. If it were Neyland, it might go the other way, but it's the swamp and it's at night. 90,000 strong, and the Gators are going to be fired up, ready to go.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So obviously I agree with both of you. I didn't give my score prediction. I'm going to go ahead and drop that now. I think the Gators win 30-9. I think Tennessee scrapes out 3 field goals, 30-9. Gators dominate. Joe Milton, 4 or 5 picks. Easy win for the Gators as they drag balls across Joe Milton's face all day long. All right. Vawl Daddy, go ahead. Ball mommy.
Well, I know who the reasonable ones are here.
Hey, real talk. I actually think it's going to be a close game. 21-19. Honest to God.
That's more of the you know, score that it usually turns out. It's either it's really close or it's really bad. Man, I said it early. I'm just going to stick to my guns. I think Joe Milton's Heisman campaign starts in Gainesville. Go ahead.
Look, here's Neyland Stadium, everybody. I'm kidding. Go ahead, Vawl Daddy.
I really do think we start off fast. It's been pretty vanilla, even on defense. We don't really blitz or stun or anything like that. I think our front seven does really good, but I think our offense gets up early. I think they kind of quiet the crowd down a little bit. I just don't know if Mertz can come back. He's not really built for that type of. Now, I will say this: Billy Napier all year last year was good in the fourth quarter. There's a lot of games that Florida looked like a brand new team in the fourth quarter.
AR hurt us a lot in the fourth quarter too. Anyways, but I don't want to interrupt. Continue.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yep.
But I just think Tennessee gets up early out front. I think we kind of just sustain it. I've got Tennessee winning 34-20.
Ooh, 34-20. All right, fair enough. Look, I respect the numbers. I respect the thought process. You got your reasons. I hope you enjoy a pissless throwing on you time in the swamp. Unless we lose, maybe I will find you personally and have a bottle of piss waiting. If y'all are going to talk shit about it, I might as well just do it, right? If we're going to get blamed for it, I might as well just fill my cup up and just show up and just do the damn thing, right?
Fill up a mustard bottle. Fill up a
mustard bottle. A mustard bottle of piss with a golf ball for weight. I mean, let's just throw it at you. Pow! That's a great.
Just be hydrated. That way it don't stink, please. I can't have my overalls stinking.
No, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink water for like 5 straight days. I'm just going to drink a little bit of whiskey just to make sure I don't die. It's Tennessee whiskey, just to make it hurt even more.
Just make it better, yeah.
No, I'm kidding, man.
I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be fun. I like going to different stadiums and ranking, or kind of just the environments and stuff, and just
look.
I just doing that.
Cheers to you. Cheers to the rivalry getting back to where it should be. It's going to be always going to be better when Tennessee's doing their job and doing their part right now. I hope the Gators can do theirs to make this where it was when it was great, man. And I can't take anything away from what Heupel's done to that program. I'll give you credit. I'll give Heupel credit. He's done it, and he looks like he's doing it the right way. So I will absolutely always give credit for that. So final thoughts, Johnny C.
Yeah, man, I'd echo what Joe said. Really appreciate you coming on, man. You were a great sport tonight. And I'll tell you one thing: that I could say that Florida fans could definitely glean or extrapolate from your fan base is I don't see as much infighting with y'all as in our own fan base, man. Y'all are very close knit group, a very close knit tribe, man, and that's something I know the three of us really work and try to get that momentum going in our own fan base because of it's not as much that way. I know some of that goes with that, the Bible Belt culture and the culture that y'all have in the Appalachians. I get that part, but man, it's something that y'all have going for you with that fan base that I personally can't stand because I'm on the opposing side. But, thanks for being such a good sport coming on, man, talking with us, having some fun. It's fans like you do that do make the difference. And I hope that I'm very confident that people other than Joe with the whiskey piss is going to treat you very well.
I appreciate it.
All right, Alligator Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, just to let you know, I mean, the swamp is a great place, to be honest. I mean, we're really not one of those fan bases where we're gonna absolutely heckle the crap out of you. It's not like you're going into, well, I mean, it's not like you're going
he's sitting next to the student section.
Listen, well, either way, it's not like he's going up into Athens and just getting, beat up by retarded old men. So I'm just saying that.
Oh man, that's a whole different man.
Yeah, agreed. We can all
That's
agree
a
on
whole
that.
different, barking at them while also, just missing the
Dog
meds that they were
leashes and
supposed to take.
stuff.
So, yeah, it's just weird. And
It is.
regardless of that, I will say that, yeah, you've been an absolute great sport, man.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate you taking the crap talk. And we hope for a good game no matter what. I mean, as much as we'd love to just beat Tennessee down and, watch Tennessee like they have over the many years that we played them, we still hope for at least a good game. But in the end, win or lose, I want you to get the respect that you deserve, bro. So we appreciate you coming on.
Oh, no problem.
All right.
I had fun.
Vawl Daddy, before we turn off, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you the final thoughts before we get off. I'm gonna play a quick video for you, something I did make today. Share it real quick. Yeah, I just need you to shut up for a second. What's my favorite memory? 20 seconds on the clock. Year 2000. Jesse Palmer, freshman Jabbar Gaffney. Clearly a catch. Go to hell, Balls. Go to hell. Yeah. I did loop that for one straight hour. I looped it and I put it on YouTube. So if you want to watch it, just to remind yourself, maybe shut the team. Maybe they'll get pissed off or something. Who knows? Put it in the big billboard or on the flight, whatever. But Vawl Daddy, I'll let you have it, and then we'll send it off with you, man.
I just want to show y'all one thing. Did y'all see the dude that got the Josh Heupel tattoo on ESPN?
I did not see it.
No.
Show it to me.
Oh boy, that's gonna look funny.
Do me a favor and Google
right.
this bad boy right here, baby. Hold on.
Oh
no!
My
no, he
God.
didn't.
Did you lose a bet? Bro.
I said if Tennessee beats Alabama, I'm getting a Josh Heupel.
So it was a bet. I wasn't wrong.
Oh, it was a bet.
Oh, dude.
I didn't really lose it though.
You better hope he wins the national championship.
Oh,
that's all I'm saying.
We're gonna be adding some trophies around the thigh.
Hey, look.
Oh man.
Look at. Hey, Google it.
I will. I'll Google. So what am I actually? Tell me what to Google specifically, and should I YouTube this instead? I mean, what do you want me to? Should I?
Just put Josh Heupel tattoo. You'll see it on Sports Illustrated and everything.
Okay. All right. Josh Heupel. HEUPEL.
That's supposed to be my mic
tattoo.
drop. I'm still sitting here.
I mean, it is on Sports Illustrated. Okay, let me share this real quick. Hold on. Let me share that.
You should have gotten the Josh Heupel and the Bobby Hill from King of the Hill right next to each other.
That's what everybody says.
All right, so I don't know why it's not loading.
It's on SEC Network.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, never mind.
Josh
That's
Allen has a turnover problem, apparently.
Yeah. That's not what we want to see. Hold on.
Sports Illustrated was basically making fun of it. They weren't very nice.
So I need to look up something else, and then hold on.
Hey, I will say this: Tim Tebow, he was talking about it on SEC Nation or whatever. And
all right, talk to me.
Oh my God.
October, Luke Jackson, a Vol fan.
Oh, there goes your name.
If Tennessee beat
you
Alabama,
ruined my cover right there.
Of course,
name's Luke.
Tennessee beat Alabama, and Jackson stuck to his word. He got that tattoo. He shared his new ink online. It went completely viral, and this past weekend, for the first time, he got to show it to Josh Heupel in person. Luke Jackson.
Oh my gosh!
Smoking a cigar. It's on his thigh, and he got it last November in honor of the Vols beating Alabama.
I don't know. I laugh every day, man. A lot of people
Look, I know this guy.
about it, but it makes me happy, so I don't care.
Up until this past weekend, HEUPEL had never seen it in person. That was until Jackson got a chance to show it.
Hey, look at it. I'll give it to you, man. I'll give it to you. It's kind of cool.
And finally, he just kind of realized. He was like, "Oh, you're the guy," and I just kind of laughed. And he came over there. He took pictures. He said, "Smoke them if you got them." I asked him about what he thought when he first seen it, and he said he didn't know what to think.
However, Jackson says HEUPEL was
Hey, there's those guys. It was him, Johnny. That's the guys who mess with you.
More fans,
Oh my Lord!
When he got the tattoo, he didn't expect all the attention that he'd get from it, and for it to go viral like it has. He says it's been a while that it's gotten to this point, and it was fun showing it to HEUPEL too.
That is cool, though.
I got a big kick out of it. In the picture, I'm just dying laughing. So.
All
Hilarious.
right.
It's
I'll give you some credit, bro. Like that's some fanhood. I can't imagine me getting a Napier tattoo unless, I mean, I could under the right circumstances and enough of the good, but I'm impressed.
I
mean,
I have a
y'all
Gators
lost
tattoo,
50
but not a coach tattoo. No.
Yeah, I've got a couple like Smokey and stuff like that. But
Now, did you call the news, or did somebody else call the
oh
news
no,
for you?
I tweeted a picture of it, and I woke up that next morning
and you went
all I did
viral.
was tweet a picture, yeah.
Oh my word!
Yeah, ESPN was in my inbox. I was like, "This is fake," and then I was like, "Nope, there's a check mark."
Wow.
Yeah, straight up. No, it's
That's pretty awesome. I'm not
That
gonna lie,
is.
That's pretty awesome.
That is.
That's pretty cool.
I mean,
hardcover.
look, when I was looking for a Vawl podcast to bring on, you were the very first person when I typed in Vawl podcast, and you were the 1st one that popped up. You were the your show. I mean, literally SEO perfectly, right? And it took me to your Facebook of all places, right? The Vault, like for the Vawls Deep, and honestly, your Facebook doesn't even have that many like followers, right? But that's where the SEO took me. It was literally the first Google search. Your Facebook was. So I mean, cheers to your tattoo.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yep. So
my personal is what I've been trying on recently, or
obviously, yeah. Well done, sir. So anyways, Luke or VawlDaddy, Vawl Mommy, well done, sir. We're glad to have you. You were a great sport, and hey, look. May the best team win. May everybody be healthy, and go Gators, sir.
Go Gators.
All right, go Vols. See y'all.
Till next time,
Gators.
sir. Hey,
Okay.
join us for the post game if the Gators win. Cheers.
Yeah.